These are the collectible spoons that someone could collect with each of the Dionne quintuplets' faces on them. So this one here, this is Yvonne. There we go, Yvonne. And you can see she's going to have a unique face here. This one is Marie. Cecile. Emily. And Annette. And the lid just fell a little bit here on the back, but there's an image, a picture of them, and it's in the same order as the spoons are found. So we have here Annette on the left, and of course Yvonne on the right, and then the other three are in the middle there, just the same way as the spoons were organized. When you would have a baby in Ontario, you'd be given this book, and inside the book is tips for parents and how to rear a child and how you would take care of a baby. And what's interesting about this booklet is that inside of it, they actually use images of the Dionnes to give the instructions and how to take care of the babies. And if we flip it over to see the whole cover, you see the 5 girls are all there, and you can even see the Department of Health of Ontario in the top left-hand corner. And so it's got all those child rearing suggestions that are in the book. This one looks to be like a photo album, maybe a collector item that you would get when you would go to Quintland. And inside it has photos to kind of illustrate their journey up until the age of 3. So you can see some pictures of the quintuplets playing. And there's all 5 there. So this is another souvenir book that you probably would have gotten at Quintland. And inside this one's the story of the Quints and their life from the start. So there's that original photograph. And then just, the farmhouse. There's another photograph there of them and their journey growing up. And it just tells the details about their life. So this is an advertisement for Baby Ruth. As you can see here on the header, first and only candy served the Quints. So this is what's given to the Quints, this candy. And if you look down here at the bottom, you'll actually see that it's recommended by Dr. Defoe. And he approves the Baby Ruth because it is rich in food, energy, sugar. And if you remember what I said in the 1920s video lecture about how there was a lot of people giving recommendations for your health and selling all kinds of things as good for your health, this is a perfect example of something like that, where you have a doctor recommending a candy bar to be good for your health. Here's another ad from a newspaper or a magazine, and in this one's for Palmolive, which looks to be a bar of soap. And so you can see the Quints are at the top here. There's Dr. Defoe again. So adding legitimacy by using the doctor as proof that this is quality product. So as people started traveling in the 1930s, they would send postcards home to their loved ones to commemorate what they saw when they were traveling. And so this is a postcard from Quintland, and you can see the 5 girls are there at the front with their names are listed, with their names listed at the bottom. And then if you actually flip this over, what's really cool is that it actually has a letter on the back of it. The postmark is August 1937. So this person went to Quintland, picked up the postcard, and sent it to their relative in, looks like Pennsylvania, I believe. Yeah, Pennsylvania. Here's another postcard. This one's blank on the reverse side. But again, you have the 5 girls having a little bit of a laugh there. And there's 2 postcards on this one, but I'll show you each of them individually. So this one is one that's been colored in. Obviously, colored photographs didn't exist at this point in time. But what would happen is you would have artists who would color in to make it seem like it was more lifelike. And each of the girls had a color attributed to them. And so you see that here represented in this postcard. And then similar here, it's a little bit colored in as well. So they're saying goodnight. They have their candles and they're ready for bed. And this one is my favorite find. I was randomly in an antique store going through a pile of photographs, and I noticed this family, and it popped out at me because how many people can say that they had this many children? And it had me doing a second glance at it when I noticed that it was the quintuplets. And so I managed to snag this postcard, which is a picture of all of the Quints, or sorry, I should say all of the Dionne family, not just the Quints, but all of the Dionne family, including the parents, are pictured here in happier times, of course. And so I thought this was quite the find, to be honest. This one, there's nothing on the back of that one either. This is a collection of miniature photos. I'll pull back a little bit so you can see how tiny they are. Like, there's my hand, so it shows you how teeny tiny they are. And so these are little pictures of Quintland. So there's the Defoe Hospital. The entry into Callander, Ontario. All of the visitors coming into Quintland. There's the house. That's Dr. Defoe's house. There's the Defoe Hospital. So this is where the children would have been kept, of course, away from their parents. There's the birthplace. This has been recently moved to try and save it. It was next to McDonald's in a parking lot and largely unvisited because a lot of Ontarians had forgotten about the history of the Dionnes. And so now it's been moved to a new location, hopefully to stay forever as a part of Canadian history. More visitors. The cars are all lined up there. The road into Callander. And more visitors at Quintland. And you can see, Oliva Dionne, he's got a booth there right at the front.